What's up, guys? So today I'm installing a range hood, a special one, in this brand new house. And let me show you what's going on today. So this house, the builder gave me a call. He's like, can you do it as soon as possible because we're closing on this house next week and we need it done. So I said, of course. I never done one like this before, but you know what? I'm the YouTube handyman. I can do anything. So I came in yesterday and tried doing this one, and I wasn't able to do it. But not because I didn't know how. It was mainly because the ceiling is too high up there. And if I installed it, the bottom of this hood right here would have been 35 inches above the stove, but that's the bottom. The top, where the buttons are, that would have been starting at the first button, 39 inches above the stove, super high up. So I tried, calling the guy. He wasn't picking up. So, anyways, I told him we need to build a box and bring that down, so that way this is gonna be lower to the range over here, so that way they can actually reach it. And then he's like, we're closing next week. Really don't have time. We just want it to look good enough to close. I'm like, all right.
So in this episode, I'm going to be giving you a few tips how to install this hood yourself, or if you're doing it for a customer, how easy it is to do, how much to charge, and a few tips that I learned from doing this Futura 14 cylinders type hood. So the dock side on the ceiling was 10 inches. I could not find a 10 to 6 inch reducing coupling, so I had to buy two. 10 to 8 and then 8 to 6. The duct side for this hood inside the cylinder is 6 inches. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is the vent hood in the ceiling. So this one here was a rigid flue pipe, and it was sticking down the ceiling, and so I had to cut it flush to the drywall simply because the bracket that comes with this hood did not allow for to fit around that flue pipe in the ceiling, so I had to cut it flush to the ceiling. Now right here, oh, another thing that I forgot to mention is I had to get a special wheel uh, cutting holder thing from the store, so that way I could cut it. And yeah, so because I didn't have a Dremel at the time, otherwise you could have used a Dremel. But yeah, so that tool worked pretty good. No issues there. And yeah, I didn't. I almost got the cable hanging down the ceiling. I did not damage it, so I didn't have to replace it. Now, some of the things you got to keep in mind when cutting anything metal in areas where you can't see where the sparks are going is I usually carry a water bottle, and then what I actually did on this job specifically, I got my water bottle and then I got it inside the drywall and I just wet everything in there. So just to make sure that none of the sparks that I was creating were going to catch on fire, because that would have been a bad day. So anyway, so my wheel did not actually fit in the pipe, so I had to cut it in sections. And as you can see here, I every once in a while I look inside the hole and then I make sure I spray water in there just to be safe. I don't want to have a fire issue, because that could be the end of any handyman's career out there, or contractor for that matter. So this here was probably the longest part of the job. This probably took me about, I would say, 30 minutes. And I tried taking the pipe out, but they actually screwed the pipe to the studs going up to the ceiling. So yeah, so I could not remove it because I wanted to cut it uh, down. But anyway, so the way this hood works is it has well, two pieces, technically three pieces. Now the easiest way to install this is to take that metal thing out, and there are 3 or 4 screws, if I remember correctly, that actually holds it down. And another thing is that sleeve you see there, it's adjustable, so you can go up, you can go down. and I think you can go all the way out to 36 inches. Like I explained earlier, I told the contractor, the builder for the house, that we needed to build a box and bring it down a few inches so that way the buttons wouldn't be that high up, but he didn't care for that. So if you have high ceilings, this thing goes all the way to 36 inches, and they do make extensions, but they have to be a special order. And one thing to keep in mind is this hood is about $2,000. So with extension, I think it's an additional $500 if you have higher ceilings. Another thing that you gotta keep in mind is when taking the installing the bracket on the ceiling, um, there's only one way that the hood is gonna actually snap in place, and you gotta make sure you actually install it correctly so that way your buttons line up with the stove. I did not show it in the video here, but I have a laser actually on the counter pointing right to the middle of the stove, and the line is actually on the ceiling if you can actually see it. But yeah, that's actually showing me where the center of the ceiling is. So here I'm just dry fitting everything, and just making sure that everything fits. And I used some foil tape and some adjustable clamps. You can buy those at your local hardware store. None of this stuff came with the range hood, so you're gonna have to purchase all of this separately. So keep that in mind whenever you're pricing this job, because none of this stuff is cheap. And I'll tell you in a little bit how much I spent in materials. But yeah, so I always use foil tape just to block the air from coming out, and just gives me a peace of mind. And another thing that I did, I secured the flue pipe couplings inside the pipe in the ceiling with some self-tapping screws, so that way it wouldn't come off. And I used foil tape as well. So what I'm doing right now is I'm dry fitting everything, and like I said, I'm getting my laser actually in position right now because I want to make sure where the middle of the stove is, because once you have the bracket up there, there's no adjustments, so you cannot just adjust the hood so the buttons are facing whatever way you want. It's just there's no adjustments, so you have to get that bracket exactly how you want it, so that way once you mount the main unit in the ceiling and you turn it in place so it hooks up to the metal piece, um, your buttons line up. Another thing I didn't show in the video up close is up there in the ceiling. This bracket has like two layers. It has one layer where you put the screws in, and then the second layer, which is, it probably gives you like an eighth of an inch gap. Well, there's another hook inside the range hood that you stick in there and it twists. So I had to make sure all that lined up so my buttons line up once I put everything together. Now what I'm doing here is I have a single junction box in here, and I'm just putting an outlet in there because this hood did not have an option for a cordless installation. A lot of them usually have a little junction box built into the unit where you can hook it up directly to the electric, but this one, all it had was a power cord, and it didn't seem like you could remove the power cord and hook it up directly to the blower inside the cylinder. So what I did instead, I hooked up an extension cord and dropped it inside the cylinder, and I actually went inside the hole in the ceiling and make sure that the cable was actually secured as well to the joist, so in case somebody pulled it or anything. But once the junction box is inside the cylinder, there's not gonna be any way for somebody to pull that power cord or have access to it anyways. And yes, I did put a clamp on the junction box so the cable wouldn't get pulled out as well. Now, the hardest part of this job actually to me was hooking up this flue pipe to the blower in there. There's hardly any room for your hands to fit in there, so it was very hard to fit that a flue pipe around the cylinder. And as you can see, it has like a special thing that hooks up to the blower. And just getting that screwed into the blower mount was just a pain in the butt. I could not see any other way to actually do it easier. So you can see the blower right there. Yeah, it was just a pain. So that alone took me probably another 15 to 30 minutes just to do what you are watching right now, because I just could not get my hands in there to hold the screws in place long enough just to tighten it in place. And another thing you gotta keep in mind too is this thing, I don't know how much it weighs, I think it was like 50 pounds. So I had to extend the flue pipe just long enough to fit into the blower, but I could not have any more slack because as you start pushing it up there and compressing it, there's only so much room in there for that to compress inside the cylinder, and if it's too long, it's just not gonna fit. So I guess if you had a helper, the helper can help you hold this up, or if you have a way to lift this up while you hook up the hose in there, it would have been a lot easier. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to compress a flue pipe and then trying to make sure that it doesn't kink inside the pipe. And at the same time, I'm trying to line up those little holes, the 3 or 4 holes. Actually, I think it's three, no, four. There's one in front, one in back, and one on each side. I'm trying to line them up with the cylinder, and then at the same time grab the screw and then screw it in place because there's no other way to hold this thing up there. And yep, so I got that one screw in there, and I was holding it in place. I got one right there, and then yep. So that's why I'm making sure it doesn't fall off, because if that thing falls off, yeah, it's game over. So, and then what I did here, I got the other screws, and yeah. And then once the screws are in, all you gotta do is get the inner sleeve and then pull it all the way up there, and then twist it in place, and you are good to go. I did not do the drywall repair here simply because the builder did not want to pay for it. This builder actually was a referral from a realtor that I've done work for in the past, and I gave him a quote for the drywall repair. He said he was going to have his drywall guy come over the next day and fix that, so that's why I didn't do it. I charged $350 for this job, and then I spent probably about $60 or $70 in materials. And it took me about 3 hours. As you can see, it looks very nice, everything working great. The only thing that is wrong about it is the buttons are too high up. So that was not my choice. I recommended to actually build a box and bring it down. And other than that, this job, I think it took me, 3 hours. I did have to come back a second day simply because I could not get the builder to pick up the phone the first day to get his permission to install it without, doing the rest. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it. And as always, I will see you next time.